Very good everybody, and welcome to another video. This is your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady, Gidzenko, and I will be your captain for today's flight. Today's flight will do a what I would like to call a mayonnaise run from Eindhoven to Belgrade. We're flying from the Netherlands to Serbia, and we'll be using the PMDG Boeing 777-F, the freighter variant, to deliver some Dutch mayonnaise to the people of Serbia, because they got such good mayonnaise in the Netherlands, you know, and it needs to go places, needs to be tasted, you know. People need to experience that. People like to experience that, so that's why we're doing this mayonnaise run today. We're using GSX, although we're not really taking any passengers with us, but we'll be using GSX for maybe there might be some company people joining us. We'll see that momentarily. And the Airsoft Simple Traffic tool, although it doesn't look like it actually loaded, so let me just double check this here before I make promises that I cannot. Yeah, there we go, Airsoft Simple Traffic tool as well. And then for both airports we're using custom scenery. So we have custom scenery for Eindhoven Airport and custom scenery for Belgrade Nikola Tesla International. We're using real-world time and real-world weather, and that is about as weird as we're going to be getting today. The en route time should be around 1 hour and 54 minutes, and the total block time should be around 2 hours and 22 minutes or so, depending on whether we're slacking about yes or no. So we're parked here. Speed of the camera is actually still really quick. Let's just change that immediately, so we have a little bit more control over the visuals. But yeah, we're parked here at Sierra 11, I believe it was. There it is. So this is one of the custom sceneries for Eindhoven Airport. Well, looking very nice. There's just no aircraft currently at the airport except us. And the sun, well, is flirting with the horizon, so I guess we can expect the sunset. The shadows are getting longer, as you can see. There are people walking around here. So I suggest we get on it. We will be getting a nighttime landing. So, alright, let's get into it. So, we have the flight plan here in our electronic flight bag. The weather. The wind 04011 knots. Turning from 010 to 090. Visibility 10 kilometers. Scattered clouds at 8,400, 17 degrees. QNH 1017. So that's the clouds there. Well, nothing we can't handle. So let's start the GSX, the boarding and the loading of everything. So request boarding. So then goes ahead and removes the PMDG loader. It's closing these little doors, and then we'll see the GSX loaders return instead. So let's just do that. Let it do its thing. So external power is on. Alright. So we'll turn on the ADRU. That's our initial reference system. That will now start looking for a signal. We can arm the emergency exit lights. And then let's see. Well, let's turn on the logo lights.
Boarding requested.
And that would be about it up here, I think, for now. So let's get to the FMC. So we got the 777-200, and let's see, RX cycle, April 17, May 15. That's looking accurate. Echo Hotel, Echo Hotel. The reference airport, the gate should be Sierra 11. Got the position here, and we can set the RD set inertial position. So we go to route. We can go as requested. That's our sim reef route, so we can set right here. And then set payload and set fuel. So let's have a look at that before we do it. So we got to our OSBIT. Let's have a look. We got the cost index 160. Cruising altitude 350. Step climb 230350 at ERKUM. No.
Do you want to board crew?
I want to board
Crew
that.
bus is coming.
Thank you. Block fuel 23.9. So let's say an even 24. Fan reserve 8000. 24 plus 8000. What do we have here? 24 and 8000. Still looking very good. So we can set the payload, set the fuel, and select the route. So route requesting. Route request has been sent.
Pilot's boarding starter.
So there are our jars of mayonnaise. Currently all of them being loaded onto our aircraft. So we're carrying a very big load of mayonnaise into Serbia. Right, so now we can load our route, so to uplink. So we activate, we execute. Now we go to the LUSIX page. We have our we got the VELNI departure. So it's 4 pages, not very big. It's not a very long flight. What did I say? 1 hour 54 minutes or something. Now let's go to the departure arrival, and let's have a look at the flight plan. So we're cleared for the 03, for runway 03. Departure and with the VELNI to Juliet. So 03. And then got the VELNI to Juliet. No transition, so we execute this and go back to index. And then our arrival, going to be interesting. B0 left. And don't think they have an ILS. There's an ILS 12 left, but I believe the opposite direction, there's no ILS. There is an ILS 30 right, so we could maybe do that, because I always like to do the ILS flights, the ILS approaches. But I'm not sure if that actually is open in at our location. I have to think really loudly here. I think that might be closed, but we could have a look. Maybe for now, let's just stick to the plan. I'm not sure what VDMB means. So as I said, we are using a custom scenery for the Belgrade airport. Let's check the weather at our destination. Then arrival 320, 15 knots. It's quite windy. The wind coming from 320, so we'll definitely be landing at the 30 runway for sure. Unless all of a sudden the wind decides to change. So PMDG, we can put something in now. We do have a couple of, we do have a little bit of time to check it all out. So what if we say ILS 30 right? Then there is, we cut the runway. The point is, let me show you. The point is, the airport actually does have 2 runways. So it does have 30 right in real life. But it might be under construction, and I'm not really sure. The thing is, it's giving us the option here in the FMC to take that runway, but I'm not really sure now if we can actually use it. And as you can see, I'm a little bit scared to use the, but let's go RNV 30 left, at least we got the correct runway. And I will check it later. So our arrival, let's go back to our the RIGMU 2 Delta. RIGMU 2 Delta. Transition VSOC. There is no VSOC in our flight plan, so we just go ahead and execute this. So now we should have the entire flight plan on the legs page. Then we get the route discontinuity, so we'll check it later. Okay. So these are routes. So we can go to performance in it. So cost index 160, cruising up to 350, was 320 and 350. There we go. So here it's saying cruising 350. That's an interesting thing to notice. 0 fuel 8, fuel 24, and reserves 8.0. So we just accept these numbers. And thrust limits. So we do the calculation. Performance tool. Runway 03. If we do import from OSBIT, will it accept it? Giving us invalid weight input. If we do import from aircraft, but this is still changing. 428 there. But let's just take this. Calculate. Takeoff 2 at 44 degrees should give us 87.7. So takeoff 2, 44 degrees, giving us 87.9, and this is 87.7. Trim 5, and then we got V1 154, V rotate 156, V2 158. So we go to takeoff, we set flaps 5. 155, 156, 158. Slightly different numbers, but we'll take them. We can also do this a little bit right before we take off. So that's basically concludes the setup up here. So we'll now set up the radio panels, and we'll also give ourselves a squawk code of 3121. And also transponder set to ready at the LA. Let's just go to transponder. And then up here, let's see, are we still acquiring a signal? Don't think so. Flight director's on. So we just set it to 350. And the speed in the window will be 250. LNAV, VNAV, both alarms. We can turn on the APU. Actually, the APU should be already running. Let's see. We got the fuel, 24,000 kilograms of fuel, we got that on board. The APU is running, doors on the manual. So we'll just turn on the beacon. And the seatbelt side will go to on. And our hydraulics. And also our fuel pumps. Don't think we have anything on our center tanks, no, so we do not need the center fuel pumps there. Anything else we need to be doing up here? I do not believe so. Let's have a look what is happening out here. We're still working. Baggage handlers on the left. Not really like baggage, it's actually cargo, but reporting completed. Look at that. Alright. Just stand by 1 sec. Alright. Okay, so let's carry on. So that has been completed, so we can now basically just get going, I think. There's no passengers or anything. We got maybe a couple of company people joining us to deliver some mayonnaise. So take off ref, so we can have a look at that calculator once again, see if there's any difference now. So import from aircraft, import weather, we already have. Calculate speeds 154, 156, 158. Take off 2 at 44 degrees, we already have that, so that's all good. 155, 156, 158, we'll keep the numbers here on the FMC. So we go to the next page, and I think we can just go ahead and start pushing back. Let's call GSX and prepare for pushback and departure, and we'll need to do some things up here as well. We'll need to close some doors, so let's maybe first set our parking brake. And then we can release the ground power and remove the chocks. Go to door management and we just close off. Oh shit, I think I realized there was a problem with GSX. I should not have been using GSX with this aircraft because there is a bug and this door will never close. It will close, but it will appear open. I'm not really sure if you can fly with it.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Yeah, let's see how this is going to develop. There is a problem with GSX in this aircraft. And there have been reports that the cargo door there will just keep on saying that it's open. And this might actually prevent us, prevents from takeoff. In which case that would be really crappy. Looks good actually. Oh, we got lucky, man. I got a little bit of a flight there. TCAS still off. Okay, engine shut down, TCAS systems off, parking brake set, seatbelts on, APU is running, and the doors are manual. We can set our trim. That should be trim of 5. So the trim is set to 5. And for the pushback, we're using runway 03. Let's have a look outside. So well, there's only one way out of here, so we push back nose to the left. Nose left and tail right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Alright, so let's release the parking brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, start engine number 2. And I'm now realizing we actually have a checklist, so let's have a look at the checklist as well. It's been a while since I flew this on. Let's go to the engine page real quick. And we can introduce the fuel. I'm going to get up our checklist now. The oxygen has been tested, flight sensor and heading altimeter has all been set. Altimeter should now be, let's put it to hectopascal. 1017. Parking brake set, fuel control switches were in cutoff. Well, we cannot check this now, that's okay. We can just override, checklist override, or just override this entire checklist. Next. MCD has been set up. We got the V2 speed, heading track altitude for the V2 speed we just put in 250 knots, and we got 350 for the flight level. Takeoff speeds, we have those as well. CDU pre-flights have already been completed, trim has been completed, taxi takeoff briefing, very simple. So that's been completed as well. And we go next checklist. That's before taxi. So the anti-icing is all done automatically. The recall should be checked.
Parking brakes.
Listen to the gentleman there. And we set up
Waiting
parking
your
brakes.
confirmation for a good engine start.
Okay, so engine number 2 is running. EGT is rising a little bit, but it should be fine. Engine number 1. Let's quickly go back to the engine page. And fuel. Okay, so back to our checklist. Recall, can have a look. If there's anything that wants out of the engine, just the TCAS is off. But you know that, we'll turn that on in a bit. Auto brake, set that to RTO for ejected takeoff. Flight controls have been checked, ground equipment has been cleared normal. Now we have the before takeoff checklist, that means that we set our flaps to 5. We can do this right now as well. So now they're just waiting on us to give them the confirmation of engine start. EGT is dropping, so it looks like our engines are in a good place. So GSX and confirming the engine start.
Ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
So the before takeoff checklist they completed as well, and then there's the after takeoff. So all systems appear to be okay.
Control track disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
Well, this guy is going to show us the bypass pin. Yep, check. Thank you, sir. He's gonna wave again. Show us the pin. Yeah, I did see it. Thank you, sir. Alright, have a good trip. So we'll turn on the runway turn-off lights and the taxi lights. TCAS is complaining, it's still off. Just turn it on. Auto brake RTO, parking brake set, seatbelt on, APU running, doors manual. We can turn off the APU. I guess we don't really need it, need to, I mean, but, sorry, let's get going. So, to taxi, we're going to be taxiing, basically, we're crossing runway 03, no taxi all the way to the other end, a very simple airport. And we can take a left here at Lima 2, so parking brake released. Let's get going. We'll need to overshoot a little bit, oversteer if you will, just to get the main gear to align as well. So it would be something like this, I guess. That ain't too bad, is it? Right, so then we can cross the runway. I did think I saw some traffic, but probably something else. So let's cross the runway. So the brakes to reject the takeoff, I'm not really sure if that's why it's braking so abruptly. That's looking okay. So here's our DHL banana. I just crashed into that vehicle there. Ground speed is very high, 38. I don't think they like it. Oh, the engines now are just on idle, and it's perfectly fine. We can just keep on taxiing all the way to the end, just with the engines on idle. Let's see if we put the nose wheel right on the mark there. So as usual, using real world time and real world weather. For, I don't know, for immersion, I guess, you know. We can set the runway heading maybe 033. Let's reduce our speed now. We'll just take the far end just to be sure. So let's turn on the landing lights. And also turn on the strobe lights. We're already at TGAS, TARA. we take off. At some point I will check and see if the runway for the scenery that we are using, if the runway 30 right actually can be used, yes or no. Because I'm not entirely sure. Here is the runway 03. And looks clear on the approach. So we keep on going. Okay, so here we are. I think we're completely ready then. The checklist has been completed. Maybe one more thing. Elapsed time. Okay, that's already there. Yeah, so we can just go ahead and set our takeoff thrust. So engines to 50%. And takeoff thrust set. Auto thrust on. Okay, so rotating positive right, gear up. So autopilot on. Flaps 1. Can turn off the runway turn off lights and the taxi lights. So we got AP, thrust left, LNAV, VNAV speed. Transition altitude is, I believe, 3,000 feet. Quickly double check this. Transition altitude 3,000 feet. Here we go, standard pressure. Now on our way to Echo Hotel 552 and 3.8 nautical miles. So we're not yet at the flap up speed. So we still have one stage of flaps to go before we can fly totally clean. So maximum speed 220, and then after Echo Hotel 552 we can accelerate to speed 250 knots. So here on the back, look at this. Oh, whoops, that's a little further out. Got a nice little area for some, basically for some personnel, but it appears to be totally empty. Our flap stop speed is coming now. We're accelerating to targeting 250 knots. You can see the top left of the primary flight display. So the flaps are coming up. And then we get flaps up here as well. So after takeoff checklist complete. And then there's the descent checklist. So we'll now go to the COM page and we'll set that's the flight information ATIS request. Then we get the ATIS information for, where is it? Lima, Yankee, Bravo, Echo, PMDG, and Auto, and send. This will give us all the weather reports throughout our flight. Oh, exit info. I'm not sure, maybe we'll have to do it again. Sending, send. Yeah, I'm not really sure exit info, whether you should or should not do that, so let's just go to, there's still no messages yet, we got the review that will still be empty. This one, but they will end up there. Okay, let's see what's going on outside. There's some clouds here. We're at 10,000 feet, we can turn off the landing lights. And can also turn off the seatbelt sign, we'll put that to auto. And I think that's our weather report, calm, no messages. So, Belgrade information Alpha, 1800 Zulu, what's the time now? And do we have a lapse time? We have a lapse time, 4 minutes into the flight, 1831. Surface wind 330 degrees, 10 knots, visibility 10, clouds. Scattered at 1200 feet, broken at 3000, temperature 11, dew point 9, QNH 013. Alright, and looks like we're on our way. feet. I think we'll be doing a step climb, let's see. I do not see 320 in here anywhere. It's just going straight to 340, 350. I'll take it, I don't mind. So while we are climbing, let me see what I can find about the runway information for Belgrade Airport. Can we use it? Can we use runway 30 right so that we can land on an ILS, or can we not? That is the question, really. So let's go sit at one of the windows. Let's go sit right here for a little bit, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so not quite sure if we can use runway 30 right. We might be able to land on it, but you know, it does look like we have an ILS. Let me get back to the flight deck here. 28,300. So we can select it here on the departure arrival page. Let's go to index and Belgrade. We can actually choose ILS 30 right. I believe it's closed in real life, the runway. I'm not sure if they put any. I think they put some blocks there, so maybe, you know. So just do the RNAV type of approach. So it's called RNAV 30 left. So let's have a look at that. So we go to the airport, Belgrade, chart approach. Runway 30 left. And then we got RMP or VOR, so we use RMP, I guess. Let's spin that. And what's the showing us? So this is new to me. It's saying Agnos channel 60540, Echo 30 Bravo. Check a couple of things here. We first have a little look outside. Looking pretty. Very good. Let's turn on some working lights. Looks like there's a new message, 1830. We got 2 weather updates every hour, that's nice. So surface wind 3207 knots, visibility 10, few clouds 1300, broken 3500, 11 degrees, 0.10, QNH 013. Okay. So almost at 35,000, so we're at the top of climb. Let's go to our plan page. And we zoom in. And let's go then to the end of our flight really. Let's see. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Let's go to the legs page. There we go. So VSOC. Take us to VSOC. VSOC is okay. That's good. So let's use that. And then to end us HELPU. So we can just put end us right there. So we'll be flying this leg here, left turn onto VSOC, and then we'll get down. See, from where do we start to go nose down? There will not be a ILS system, so there will not be a, but the glide path angle will be 3 degrees. And that will start at HELPU. And HELPU is 8.1 nautical miles from the runway, I think. Let's look up here. Doesn't say. Helpful 3,000 feet. So actually, I think that is 8.1 nautical miles. Oh, like that. I was looking in the wrong box. So yeah, so you have 3.0, 5.1. That's 8.1. Okay. So 8.1, helpful, and the radial 30 left. That's 117. So we copy our runway, go to our fixed edge, place it there, and check 117. And then 8.1, which will say 8, I don't believe it takes the decimal. So once we arrive, we'll see this is the point where we should be on our, starting on our glide slope. And then it's also that another ring for 50 nautical miles, so 117/15, just for a little bit more situational awareness, if you will. That's around the top. So we do have this. Let's go back to map. What's the traffic approaching us there? That's looking so cool. Nice. Step to 370, really? I don't see it in here. Weird. It's a little bit, it's a bit I don't really understand, I guess. Then. Alright, zenith page, and yeah, so the top of climb it's not yet, the top of descent, I mean, it's not showing. We can get descent forecast, so let's load that up. It's so cool to look at this other aircraft. sometimes you can actually see what airline they are. Oh, that just vanished. So this is our 777-F, the freighter variant with the DHL livery, DHL Express. Short flight from Eindhoven to Belgrade, Serbia, to deliver some jars of mayonnaise to the beautiful people there. So now that we are actually at our cruising altitude, let's go and set 3,000 feet. In the altitude window, 3,000 feet is the altitude at which we will start our glide slope of 3 degrees. At the same time, it may be a little bit quite premature to do that, but I'm just going to do it anyway. So to step climb none on the progress stage. First time of arrival, expected time of arrival 2019 Zulu, that's 650 nautical miles to go. And our fuel on board will be 9.3. We're now carrying 18, so that's about what half. And 2019 Zulu, so that is in about 90 minutes or so. 85 I think. We are now 24 minutes into the flight. Engines look happy. And then at 7 o'clock we can expect a new weather report. And maybe we should see if we can turn on the weather radar. But nothing on the radar yet. So I guess that's looking fine. Perhaps we'll chill here for a little bit. get back to the flight deck, see what's going on up here. Looking at the beautiful sunset, look at that. The basically the Terminator is running towards us. So up next, ENITA in 68 miles. We have a top of descent yet on our progress stage. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't refresh like this, so we'll do it on the still short VNAV stage. Recommended flight level 350. Yeah, so for the arrival, I think, let's see, route 2 legs. Let's actually see route 2. There's nothing here, so we go to route 1. Route, and we can say route copy. Now if we go to route 2, we'll have that, so we should have that in here. We're not going to activate, but we could, for instance, say, see how this works again, departure arrival. So for route 2, we could try, for instance, yeah, the thing is, we don't have to do it. The thing is, we could put in, do we have new weather? No. The thing is, we could put in the ILS 30 right, so we have an ILS. But the thing is, probably the runway itself, it is there, but we might not be able to taxi off. So I guess we should just not do it. So then we go back to the route 1 leg stage. There it goes. So I like the light of the sun here on the left side of our aircraft. Look at that. The aircraft is already yellow on its own, and there is a little bit of extra yellow light from the sun now. Look at that. So the weather report should be issued at 1900, and we'll get it usually 5 to 10 minutes late. We also have some tailwind on our flight. Look at that. Alright man, it's enough in-flight entertainment. The pilot can still play. But the question is the pilot still funky? Well, we're finding that out, aren't we? Alright man, there's a new weather update. I don't think the weather at Belgrade Airport will change a lot. We got information Charlie, 1900, surface wind 310 degrees, 8 knots, visibility 10, clouds scattered 1300, broken at 3500, temperature 11, QNH was 014, that has changed. But basically it's pretty much the same. Looks like they got a lot of clouds going on there currently. But here we are with our jars of mayonnaise, and we'll make sure everybody gets one. So let's go for world domination by obesity. What do you say? Alright. Do we have the top of descent yet on our progress page? There you go, top of descent 329 miles, 1953 Zulu. That's in about 40 minutes. So it's cool. Then we can start descending. We'll be doing not an ILS arrival, but we'll do an RNF approach. It's always exciting. I like my little needles there, but I believe actually the RNF approach will still let you use the needles here on the flight director. So we'll just think the difference is we fly down ourselves to with a 3-degree downslope approach. As you can see here on the charts, the glide path angle should be 3 degrees. Just basically from Helpo at 3,000 feet we'll start to go down, and that's 8.1 nautical miles from the runway. And we'll landing on runway 30 left. After landing, we'll vacate the runway to the left, and we'll probably stop around Romeo 4 or maybe all the way at the end. We'll vacate to the left. I'm not sure where the cargo area is here, but we'll find out. This is probably around here. I believe it's here, the cargo area. Right. So BUDEX coming up in about 47 miles. You can see at this speed that is going quite fast. So it's 1919 Zulu, which is in like 3 minutes. So yeah, so little VHL 777 Foxtrot filled with mayonnaise. And we got lots of types, you know. There's garlic mayonnaise in there, especially that's like on special order. But there's also some other types of condiments and what have you, you know. And then who knows, maybe we'll fly something back too, you know, from Belgrade. Right, holding steady, 35,000 feet. We are now 48 minutes into the flight. Can we see what our position is? Where the hell are we flying? So over to the Czech Republic. And then there will be Austria, Hungary. Oops, so it doesn't like that. And then there's Serbia. So we'll not be doing anything of a straight in. Basically, we will actually fly past the runway like this, past the airport like this, and then take a left turn, and then we go for runway 30 left. There is 30 right in the scenery that we're using, but in real life it is not available at the moment. So I don't think we will be able to get off the runway. I think we can land. There is an ILS option right here on the FMC, but yeah, so we'll have to do an RNF approach rather than an ILS approach, because there's no ILS on the runway 30 left, unfortunately. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but well, we'll see. We make it or we don't. So I'm hoping for the what's it called, the crosshair, the flight directors to remain active and to actually guide us down, which I believe it actually might. So in that sense, probably the only difference is if you're hand flying it rather than, you know, letting the autopilot take over. But we'll see about that. We got about 8 miles to land. Once we start descending for the final approach at Helpu, that's 8.1 nautical miles from the runway, 3-degree downslope, so we'll see that. Alright, so the fuel 14.9. There's no weather updates that we'll get at in a little bit, in about 20 minutes or so. We should have any weather updates. But as you can see from the trend, there's not a lot going on. We could pre-dial the altimeter. We saw 1014. We could just start by doing that. We will have to check this later anyway, when we are doing the final approach checklist. Or actually no, our descent checklist. So if you go to checklist, the one that's next for us is descent, recall, notes, auto brake, landing data, minimums, approach briefing. And then actually the approach is altimeter is very good. But let's go normal menu and we go to the descent checklist because that's the one we will be using first. And we put this back on. So it looks like a beautiful night here over Czech Republic. So just stand by 1 second please and I'll be right back. Alright. Let's see. It's really getting a lot darker now, as you can see. Okay. If we turn off the storm lights, that's super bright. Actually, the dome light is super bright as well. So let's make it a little more cozy in here. And let's go deliver us some mayonnaise to beautiful people in Belgrade. Can increase the brightness here on the primary flight display. It's quite bright. Yeah, but it's a lot better like this. So I like this view as well here. A little chilling area near the galley. Wait, for me it's a chilling area. But in real this is not a chilling area, this is just to carry some company representatives and what have you. So here's our boxes of mayonnaise, and garlic sauce and some other condiments. There's some weather coming up there. But that will not be close. That's looking fine. Just one isolated area there with high activity, precipitation. So top percent to 121 miles. kilometers 53 times, well, it's in about 25 minutes or so of start descending. We should get a weather update in a couple of minutes. But as I said, the weather Belgrade is probably not going to change a whole lot. Sometimes I wonder what to do with the logo lights when they're at these altitudes. Do you keep them on? I mean, there's hardly any marketing going up at 35,000 feet, you know. At the same time, I can imagine you want to be somewhat visible, so. And maybe it's just company control. Maybe one company says, yeah, you turn it on, the other company says you turn it off. Maybe what other says you just do whatever you want. No clue what they do. Might be an interesting thing to look up one day. And just to see, okay, so what the hell do they do with these logo lights when they're at these high altitudes, you know? Does the world really need to see the DHL flying by? I don't know. That's for the weather there, it's to our right. So that's not going to bother us at all. If we zoom out, we'll see there's no weather anywhere else. So that sets will be quite okay. I believe it's quite windy at the moment in Belgrade. Or it was windy, it was actually a little bit lower, I guess. Let's see, flight information, no review. So the latest weather report was saying percent 310. At 8 knots. Okay. So the landing data, well, we don't have to worry about all of it right at this moment. But let's go to the nav page, right here. So we should get, there's actually no ILS frequency, by the way. I did see something else, something interesting. Instead of the ILS frequency, it is showing EGNOS channel, it looks like channel 60540. I have no clue how to do that. Echo 30 Brahman. Maybe something to look up. The elevation 331 feet. Transition altitude 10,000. So let's see if there's anything I can find on this. It could be interesting. Alright, so I'm asking ChatGPT what the answer is. And it's saying the chart that you're referring to is specifying the use of EGNOS for the approach to runway 30F, which is a type of satellite-based augmentation system as BAS. So then the breakdown of what you're seeing on the chart. So EGNOS, European Geostationary Navigation Overlay Service. EGNOS satellite-based augmentation system that provides differential GPS corrections and integrity information to improve the accuracy and reliability of GPS navigation over Europe. Instead of using an ILS instrument landing system frequency, this approach relies on EGNOS for providing vertical and lateral guidance for RNF area navigation procedures. So it looks like there's actually lateral guidance there. Or vertical guidance, I meant. I was already convinced that there was lateral guidance, but there's the vertical guidance as well. And then channel 60540 refers to the specific EGNOS signal channel used for the approach. EGNOS uses several channels for signal reception. Channel 60540 is the designated one for this approach. You do not need to tune a frequency like with the ILS approaches, as the RNF approach will use GPS and EGNOS for guidance. And then the bit here where it says Echo 30 Bravo, where's this one, Echo 30 Bravo. What's saying about that? Likely the EGNOS reference or approach type refers to the specific RNF GNSS approach procedure for runway 30 left augmented by EGNOS signals. And then they're saying how does it work in FS 2020. Ensure that your aircraft navigation system is capable of using EGNOS, and we should have that in the 777. On the approach screen, instead of inputting an ILS frequency, you should input the RNF waypoints, the EGNOS channel, and follow the procedure described in the chart for a GNSS EGNOS approach. So you should input the RNF waypoints. Let's see what that's going to be like. Approach guidance. The RNF approach should automatically provide lateral and vertical guidance based on EGNOS correction, similar to an ILS, but without the need for a localizer or glide slope. Make sure your aircraft autopilot is set to RNF mode, and follow the approach chart instructions carefully, including any specific EGNOS settings or notifications. Autopilot to RNF mode. What the hell was it? Whoops, that's the wrong button. Let's get back inside. No, that's not it. This should be it. Okay. So, to my knowledge, we do not really have like an RNAV option here. Not really as I was reading it. Aircraft autopilot set to RNAV mode. We did select the RNAV arrival. So in that sense, maybe it's already done, you know. I'm not really sure. And there's our latest weather report at 36:22 seconds after the time of issue. Information Delta, surface wind 300, 9 knots, visibility 10, clouds still scattered 1500, broken 4000 feet. So 1500, that's okay. That's, well, actually, let's have a look at the chart. Decision altitude 250 feet. So it should be pretty okay then, I guess. Just not sure what was meant with set it to RNAV. Let's see, 1014, we still have that. So this is just descent information. Yes, not really sure. Let's see, Endos intercept. So we selected our left 30 left. That's about what I can think. So after BABIT we go straight down to 7,000, well 7,000 feet or above. So the top descent coming up in about 120 miles or so. 108 miles, a little bit closer. So we have set the altitude there, 3,000 feet. That's what we should aim for. But we'll just chill here for a little bit longer. The top descent is 1952. It's in about 12 minutes. So we'll keep on cruising here for a little bit. So check this little window, and I'll be right back. So still got a couple of minutes to go before we start to descend. Get into action a little bit more. So the time 1948, 1 hour 22 minutes into the flight. 1952 services will not come out and then the aircraft will start descending on itself. So let's see, the weather update will be at 8 by the time we're already descending. So we'll use QNH 1014. Let's also get our, at least our initial landing speed or final approach speed, 143 knots if we go flat 30. So 143 knots, so we should have our VRF speed in here. And I believe we should add 5 knots, so that would be 148. And the 777, I don't think it puts the speed there. Let's try 148. And then forward flash, so we do not change the altitude. And it's accepting, so that's good. And go to the progress page. Top of descent, not really been affected, or maybe really not at all. So where are we flying? We're almost in Serbia. Stop descent coming up, let's zoom in a little bit more. So let's get our checklist. So for the descent will be 12 knots come out, so recall, let's check our recall. See if we miss anything, just saying recall, but no messages. Alpha brake. Let's use medium. So let's go auto brake 2. Landing data VREF minimums. And minimums were 250, I believe, or 200 maybe. 250, 250. Radio altitude. Wait, what's that radio altitude? Yeah, that's the radio altitude, 250. Let's just double check down here. So, 250. Here's our descent. And they also set at 250. Landing data VREF and minimums, so we have our landing data VREF and minimums. I guess we're good. Not really sure how to put this into RNF, but I think it'll probably work out on its own. So let's go, landing data is complete. VREF minimums, approach briefing. Yeah, approach briefing, let's say it's completed. Saying drag required. Let's, really? Oh, why not? Put in some drag, although it looks like we're getting a little bit low. I'm not really sure why drag is required, so before we panic and do that. Speed 314. I just cleared out the message there for a second to see if it comes back. So that's descent checklist completed, and then there's the approach. So that's the altimeters. We'll set the altimeters at 10,000 feet. But by that time, we will have a latest weather that will be available to us in about 10 or 12 minutes, something like that. So we're below the profile a little bit. That's okay. We'll just stay chilling here. There is some clouds up ahead though. Nothing to worry about. And the weather is totally clear in terms of rain and basically precipitation and anything that falls from the sky, except maybe frogs. Frogs. I cannot resist. Okay. So we have 2 range rings. Let's do the approach briefing. We have 2 range rings around our runway. And we'll be flying from this direction. Wait, we can do this right here. Let's see, nav. There we go. So we're coming from, where are we? Golf Echo 310. So that's right here. Okay, so we're coming from 310 to 308, 307. So fly by the airport. Then we'll take a left turn. And by this time, this is 50 nautical miles, so we're 25 nautical miles out, so that should be fine. There's no localizer, no ILS system, but we should be able to do it on GPS. So that's what's happening. And then after touchdown, we'll vacate the runway to the left, as you can see on the chart here. 30 left, and well, maybe we can make part B on this chart. So there's no high speed exits. So we'll see how it goes. Probably a Delta 4. We can put this back on the checklist for now. Well, actually, and we might need a little bit of drag in a second. So let's put it on COM, because we will expect some weather report in about, still about 10 minutes. So we go back to map view. So the descent has started. Let me start recording Sky Dolly. Sky Dolly is a free program as well, and it allows you to record the input into a replay. So that's now recording. You see, we're getting really close now. Here's the 15-mile range link. And just because these 2 lines are here, for me it makes it so much easier to see that we're getting close, to realize that you're actually getting close, you know. I'm not saying it cannot be done without them. You know, you'll still have to watch all your waypoints and everything, but this is more like on a base level, like on an intuitive level, and I really like that. So there's Novi Sad, and there's Belgrade, and here are we. About to take our left turn. So we're on our way to Bravo Echo 311. So let's see how she slows down, man. 17,000. Just turn on the seatbelt sign. And I guess you can also start out the APU. Simulator was hanging there for a second. Okay, so the weather report has been issued. Should have been issued at least at 20 almost hours. So we'll receive that in a couple of minutes. Let's check our ENITA page for the speed. We got flaps 30% at 143 knots, and that's still current. Our fuel 10.4, and we're expected to have 9.3, I believe, when we land. 9.3, that's still the same. So there's not going to be changing a lot, like 1100 kilograms. So not sure if that would really affect our final approach speed. We are now 143 knots, but so, as you can see, that hasn't changed. I think, so maybe it could drop to 142, but we'll see that in about 10 minutes or so. We're touching down, it's now 20:01. So in about 8 minutes. Wait, 18, what's this time? 22, so in about 16 minutes we'll be touching down. Alright. So most of the things are set up. We just do not have ILS, so we'll do the RNAV approach using GPS. But that should give us both lateral and vertical navigation, so that should be fine. But let's stay sharp there. So the airport is right there, we'll be flying by it. And as you can see, we do not have a DME because there is no ILS for our runway. Let's see on the REDNAV page if there's anything. No, it's just saying ILS Park, but that's all. So let's go back to legs. 11,000 feet, so that's almost at the transition altitude. So we pre-dialed the local QNH 1014, but the weather report will be received in about 3 minutes, and then we'll see if the weather has stayed the same, yes or no. Well, let's just start by turning on the landing lights. Hopefully we get our weather update soon. So the APU is now running, seatbelt sign on, and the auto brake set for 2. So do another check on our final approach speed, still 143. I'm expecting it to maybe drop to 148. But we'll see about that. Okay, 10,000 feet, it's warning us, standard, so we'll go, for now we'll use the 1014. So we press standard and then it switches to whatever you set it, is 1014 hectopascal. Let's check that it's on both sides. Yes. So next up, in about 2 or 2.5 minutes, we should get our weather report. The airport should now be pretty much to our left, but we do have some clouds, so not a whole lot to see here. Let's just stay on the job. So the weather report did say, let's check the latest one that we do still have. Scattered clouds, 1500 feet, broken at 4000. Well, we are now at 10,000 feet. And we're not flying through the clouds yet, but it looks a little bit higher. appears to be in a downward trend. So below 10,000, close to the airport. And these rings help us as well. You know, once we reach this ring, we're at 8 miles. Once we reach this one, we're at 15 miles. Okay, so what's the time? I want my weather report now. 20:05, so I'm guessing 20:06 in some seconds. About 1 minute or so. We should have the little warning here saying calm, and then we just can check it. Let's have a look outside. So we've passed the airport, I believe, right? Yeah, we have. So there's the city of Belgrade. Beautiful city, definitely go check it out if you can. $8,400, the time is 20:06, 13 seconds. So could really be using that weather report shortly. So when usually after the left turn that's coming up, usually we'll take, we'll press the localizer button, but in our case that will not work. I'm not sure if we actually can arm the approach. We'll have a look at that. We'll also press the localizer just to see what happens, but I don't think, you know, there is no localizer frequency, so it's not probably going to do anything. Okay, so where's the weather, please? Anything else? We are now, basically this is 50 nautical miles. You know what, let's turn on the runway turn-off lights as well. And the taxi lights can go on. How are we with our flaps? We're still okay, we're above the flaps hop speed. We're fine on our vertical profile as well, 7,000 feet. And we're now going where? Let's see, 5,000 foot above, Bravo Echo 303. That is our weather at 7:32 seconds. So new messages. That's the latest weather. See, surface wind 310 degrees, 7 knots, visibility 10, 1,500 feet, broken 4,000, nothing changed. 11 degrees, QNH 1015. We are now at QNH 1014. So change that. Does it take one? 1015. Congratulations, you did it. Alright. So I must admit I'm a little bit excited by the RNAV approach because I'm not really quite sure what to expect because I always try to avoid them. So, you know, there's a lesson to be learned, I guess, you know. If you want to get better at something and have more fun with it, that, I guess, is one way of doing it. So let's see if we crash. You know, we could, in a sense, always do a visual landing. Let's actually go to the checklist and stay on top of that too. So we have the approach checklist completed. Altimeters have been set to the local pressure 1015. So we can go to the next one. That will be the landing checklist. So basically, on the speed brakes, we'll do that upon when we're on final approach. Landing is down flaps 30. Speaking of flaps 30, let's check our inlet left page. It's down to 142 as I anticipated. So 142. So we have a new final approach speed. So we'll also enter that here on the legs page. At the runway here, 148 will be now, so 142 plus 5 will be 147, /, and we enter it right there. Thank you, execute. Okay, legs page. Okay, so here's our left turn. So usually after this turn, or rather, actually after the next one there, the Bravo Echo 301, we should turn on the localizer. Let's see how it's going to happen. We do not really have like ILS diamond here. Maybe we'll get it. Again, I'm not really used to flying RNF approaches. So the clouds should be at 4,000 feet and then at 1,500, but the decision height is 250 feet. If you do not see the runway at 250 feet when on a final approach, we should do a go around. So quickly see if the go around is something we don't have to think about too much, because they always intimidate me a little bit. Climb straight ahead, inbound, Bravo Echo 190, and Bravo Echo 190, turn left, max 210 knots, direct to OBRVR, 3,000 feet and hold. And luckily they also have like a little picture here, and it's already pre-programmed. So here's our left turn. This is now taking us to Belgrade Airport. So I'm curious. Now if we check, turn on, oops. This should go 3,000. Turn on localizer. Would say anything? It just says localizer armed, but that's all. But so that's probably not going to do anything. But approach, I'm curious. It's saying glide slope localizer, yeah, but there is no glide slope localizer. So probably we can just leave those off and just follow the LNAV and the VNF path. It did say somewhere to put the autopilot on RNAV, but there's no clue if that's possible. And there was ChatGPT, and that makes some really weird assumptions sometimes, even though when you specify it's about the PMDG 777, you know. So we'll see how this goes. We're still going down at 3,000 feet. We should be at help with 3,000 feet, and from there we can always fly it ourselves. And I do believe we have guidance with the flight directive, both vertical and lateral, even though there is actually no localizers. That's the GPS systems that are providing with accurate updates. So let's hope for the best, and let's do our best. So this first line will be 50 nautical miles distance and then 8 nautical miles, because we do not have a DME here, so this is extra handy. It's always handy in any case, but without DME, distance measuring equipment, this makes it a little bit better. So it did say visibility 10 kilometers, but I guess that's below the clouds. So yeah, I'm not really sure what I mean. I mean, look outside. That's a gloomy day, or actually gloomy evening. Okay, so what's going on? We're on the way to VSOC, speed 210 knots, 4,000 feet or above. And we should be there in 3.7 nautical miles. And let's also see when we get control over the speed. We can always override off scores, but we can turn off the weather data, I guess. Okay, decelerating to 210 knots. And we're passing the flap off speed, so let's go flaps 1. There's our runway, so at least we have a visual. That's already a good beginning. So at 3,000 feet at this line here, or actually at Helpel, we start the 3-degree downslope. Speed 190, targeted. Go flaps 5. See if we can help out by creating a little bit of drag. So with a nihilist approach, you would now be only localizers. and then the glide slope would start to take you down at Helpel. So it is a bit of a different system. There is no, unless actually this triangle will keep us company and function as like the ILS diamond, if you will. Okay, so the distance, I don't know, would be about 10, 11, 12 nautical miles or so. Flaps 5, and we got that. And the initial approach speed is fairly high, I believe, at Belgrade. Let's go flaps 10, or I believe that's 15 in this aircraft. Still no override on the speed, which for now is okay. So help will coming up, and there we go. So we should now start going down. Let's see what actually is happening. It appears that we're a little bit above what could be the glide slope. So I think what I'll do, turn off the autopilot. Let's get our landing gear down. And see if we can follow the flight directors. Just trying to trim it out a little bit here. Attitude alert. Oh, okay. Thank you. So looking at the flight directors, we appear actually to be high. Looking at the little diamond, we appear to be a little bit low. Not really sure which to trust now. So I guess we just eyeball it a little bit. So let's arm the speed brake. Flaps full. I think I'll turn off the flight director then. Or, yeah, let's do that. Alright. Crew, take a seat for landing. We don't really have a crew, we just have a bunch of executives and whatever. Company reps traveling with us to deliver the mayonnaise. Let's see if we now can do speed intervent. And 147 knots. 1,000. 1,000 feet, let's watch our descent rate a little bit. It's really weird flying without the flight director, I must say. But in the end, we're just setting the sucker down anyway, so.
500. 400.
So decision altitude is 250 feet, but we have a very clear visual on the runway.
300. Minimums.
Continue. A little bit high, I guess. We should really settle down. This should actually be a go around, I guess, but
40.
We'll do it.
30. 20. 10. 5.
Well, it's a little bit messy, but I think we're down. Full reverse. Welcome to Belgrade, everybody. Let's assist with a little toe braking here, because we're reaching the end of the runway. 60 knots, there you go. Flaps up, speed brakes up, and I will vacate here to the left. So that's the custom scenery for Belgrade Airport. And then the cargo section is somewhere to the left. Actually, yeah, we can take this taxiway, I guess. Or actually, wait, what is this? Yeah. So here we are, finally, Belgrade. It's been a while since we flew to or from this airport on the channel. I'm happy to fly here again. We got some Air Serbia standing here, and we got some Wizz Air, flying Turkish Airlines. But we're flying DHL, so with the cargo we're not going to be parking anywhere here, but a little bit further down the green line. And I'm not sure in real life where these big planes to park when they're cargo planes, you know, but I believe the cargo area is where we're going now, so we'll just settle down somewhere there. It's going to be okay. Yeah, it was an interesting approach. The RNAV approach feels really weird because I've been flying so many ILS approaches lately, manually, or at least like from 1,000 feet or so. And yeah, so it feels a little bit weird to I don't know, to sort of judge what's going on, you know, to judge the situation, the vertical situation, the speed. We did make it down in one piece. I don't think we deserve any kind of beauty contest here, but, you know, it is one way of learning. And that is to bump your nose, or to embarrass yourself, whatever it takes, you know. It's up to you what you take away, what you would take away from it, you know. Alright, so I think we'll take a right turn here. This just looks like it's for a very small aircraft. I have no clue, but we'll just take a right turn and we'll settle down on something that looks like a yellow line. So there's the cargo area, as you can see. There you are, wheel stop. Parking brake set. And once again, welcome to Belgrade. That's the cargo building. So this is a custom scenery. If you like it, go look it up on flightsim.io. You can download this for free. And there's all sorts of other sceneries. But when you do, make sure that you use something like add-ons linker. That helps a lot. So you don't have to, your simulator doesn't have to, for each little flight, doesn't have to load up, you know, all these airports. I like to do it that way, at least. So we got the Lufthansa here and the Swiss. And we got a bunch of Air Serbias there as well. And yeah, man, that's it. So thank you very much for checking, everybody. And I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.